Next on Fox News, the government shutdown. Well, guys, last Friday the government hurtled toward a shutdown. The Capitol building is usually filled with tense lawmakers, big votes, and phones ringing off the wall, but Friday it was quiet. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer headed off to the White House to negotiate with Trump, but he returned with no solutions. The Senate, failing to beat a filibuster, couldn't even vote to avert the shutdown. Senator John Kennedy called it a circus without a tent. Shutting down the government on a Saturday night is one thing, but on a Monday morning, people scrambled to find a deal before everyone reported to work. The government was shut down for 3 days and technically was open again Tuesday. Although they made a short-term compromise, the senators have until February 8th to make the last decisions, or we could possibly be looking for another one. Next on Fox News, the government shutdown. Well, guys, last Friday our amazing government hurtled towards a shutdown. The Capitol building is usually filled with tense lawmakers, really important voting, and phones ringing off the wall to tell Congress how good they are. But Friday it was quiet. Senator Chuck Schumer headed off to the White House to negotiate with our awesome president, Mr. Trump, but of course came back empty-handed. The Senate, not able to overcome a filibuster, couldn't even vote to avert the shutdown. Senator John Kennedy called it a circus without a tent. Closing down the government on a Saturday is one thing, but on a Monday morning, everyone scrambled to find a solution before people returned to work. The government shutdown only lasted 3 days, much improved since 2013, and was opened by a short-term compromise. The senators have until February 8th to make the last decisions, or we could possibly be looking at another one. Latest story, CNN News. Government shutdown. In the final moments leading to the deadline, Senate Republicans and Democrats were unable to come to an agreement. Throughout the day Saturday, government agencies let their staff know they must stay home. Thousands of employees will be placed on furlough, this meaning they will not get paid. This affecting all our national parks, malls, military personnel, etc. No word on the shutdown has yet been received. Latest story, CNN News, government shutdown. In the final minutes leading to the deadline, Senate Republicans and of course the Democrats couldn't come to an agreement. Throughout the day, they had to let all their 800,000 workers know to stay home. Wonder how they even got that done. The employees being placed on furlough, this meaning all of them not getting paid. This affects all of our national parks, malls, and military personnel along with several other agencies. No word on the shutdown has been received yet, but what can you expect from a bunch of Democrats? Next on NBC, federal government shutdown. The midnight deadline came and passed as a key vote fell short and the government entered a shutdown. 1 year since President Trump took office, a stalemate can be resolved, leading both parties to vote against the bill late Friday night. The proposal that failed was one that would have funded the government till February 16th, among other things. Democrats demanding progress on DACA withheld their support for the bill, and the government slipped into a shutdown. Next on NBC, federal shutdown. The midnight deadline came and passed as a key vote fell short, and our amazing government entered a shutdown. 1 year since the great Trump took office, a stalemate couldn't be resolved, leading both of the very agreeing parties to vote against the bill. Late Friday night, the proposal that failed was one that would have funded the government till February 16th, among other things. Democrats, of course, demanding progress on DACA, withheld their support for the bill, and the government slipped into a shutdown. Next on MSN, government shutdown 2018. Republicans were on the verge of disaster Thursday. They wanted to pass a short-term spending bill that the House Freedom Caucus was withholding its support. Most Democrats wanted to block it. After a meeting with Trump, the caucus reached an agreement that was enough to win over to avert a shutdown. The Senate has voted no on the bill, and it wasn't just the Democrats, but they blocked the bill. This sent the government into a shutdown. Next on MSN, government shutdown. Of course, the Republicans were on the verge of disaster Thursday. They wanted to pass a short-term spending bill that the House Freedom Caucus was withholding their support. Most Democrats voted to block it, not surprisingly. After a meeting, Trump, the caucus reached an agreement that was enough to win over to avert a shutdown. But of course, this wasn't good enough for the Senate, and they voted no on the bill. And to our surprise, it wasn't just the Democrats, but they blocked the bill, sending the government into a shutdown.